It's now my great pleasure to welcome to these microphones an old friend of this show who just participated in a panel here at CPAC, as I did a few minutes ago. And his name is Zuhdi Jasser, and he is the president of the Islamic American Forum for Democracy. And he is a veteran of our armed services and a physician and an American patriot. Zuhdi, great to see you again.
Thank you, Michael. It's always so great to see you and be with you.
Okay, we have we have a caller who is calling in because Governor Huckabee was challenging, as I know you do, the effectiveness of our government in protecting our diplomatic personnel in Benghazi. I think it's kind of obvious to challenge it, but let us go to. We go to. Yeah.
Hey, Michael.
Hey.
To answer your question you posed just a moment ago, doesn't our government have better things to do than to persecute Dinesh? The answer is these people don't think so. But my point that I wanted to suggest was why, Obama obfuscated this whole Benghazi issue with the YouTube video. And nobody's calling it out that he did that for the sole purpose of his reelection. And I would like somebody to bring that up or call that out.
Comment, Zuhdi Jasser.
Well, I think that ultimately the interesting thing is this administration is never able to focus on the real problem, and everything seems to be about political calculations and rather than the reality of America actually being a force for good, America being a force for advancing the cause of liberty. And the video shows, I think you're right in that behind that was the issue of free speech and the issue of America protecting free speech. Instead, we were defensive. We were abandoned our responsibility not only in Benghazi but globally as the response to that video became exaggerated by the radical Islamists, as many of us liberal Muslims are trying, or classically liberal Muslims are trying to fight. The White House continued to ignore the elephant in the room, which is that the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, these 56 countries, are, whether it's Libya, whether it's Iran, Pakistan, Syria, all of these countries continue to have the same problem, which is the advancement of political Islam with a denigration and a continued negative propaganda towards the West and towards America. And I think Benghazi highlights the inability of this administration to stand up for the ideals we represent and instead abandon, not only on the ground, our sons and daughters fighting for freedom, but also our country's values and what we believe in, and as a result, we've become irrelevant. There's been a vacuum across the Middle East.
Well, and again, that's had impact on the Ukraine. We haven't spoken, Dr. Jasser, but how about the administration's response to Egypt, where it seems we should be supporting a government that wants to be pro-Western?
The interesting thing is that the problem President Obama has had is we were so much supportive of the Brotherhood as being representatives of democracy, and then you had 5 to 10 million Muslims and others come to the streets and say this is not democracy. They needed Revolution 2.0, which was 10 times more, and the administration didn't know how to adjust its talking points. So as a result, they've been tepid at best and unable to say that this was a corrective action for democracy. Instead, they called it a coup and didn't know what to call it. And ultimately, listen, I'm not defending everything that's been done.
Right.
I'm not one that believes that the Brotherhood should be made completely illegal. I think
of course.
1 year of them being public did more to destroy their ideological infrastructure than 60 years of dictatorship. However, this administration and many of public discussion has been unable to identify the threat, which is the Brotherhood.
That's Dr. Zuhdi Jasser. Zuhdi, I hope that you will keep yourself available to advise a future president in building bridges with Muslim forces for freedom and democracy and for the kind of values that our religious traditions at their best want to share. That's Zuhdi Jasser. When we come back, the one, the only Rick Perry. He electrified the crowd here at CPAC.